Hello YouTube and welcome to GrunfWorks. This is episode 41 of the Interplanetary Voyage of Exploration. And today we have a lot of things to do. So, we are closing on our dress window. I don't know if it's dress or dray, but yeah, whatever. So, let us first select our mini dress probe number 1. Okay, so ever as we are up using this probe, we should hopefully get to dress. Now, it's a matter of setting up the maneuver node. Let's see, this is 128 degrees roughly to prograde. So I'm now just extending the periapsis, trying to get a good dress encounter. And a little bit fiddling, obviously. 1480, and then we can set up another maneuver node which would then line up, and we would be coming close but still no cigar. So now just fiddling with the maneuver node, hopefully to find it. Flipping it a few orbits further. See if that improves our chances. And yeah, still not ideal. So I'm just trying to see if putting it at a later stage would help. No, not really. We still get a very crappy encounter, I'm sorry to say. And if I push out radial, then we have a lot of delta V requirement, and let's see if it works this way. I'm just trying now, playing a little bit with the angle, see how it works. So I decided to abandon the node altogether and plot another transfer. Add a Kerbal alarm and just kill this one. So, and that one is in 64 days. Okay. So let's go back to the Space Center. We obviously have some more stuff to do before that happens. So let's go and to the Spaceplane hangar, and we have the bigger SSTO that we have modified recently, which would hopefully bring creature comforts and some kibble experiment to the space station. And I'm trying to figure out, let's take Luding and Elbart Kerman. They already flown a few missions, but then again, why not? So, perfect. Let's set up the target. Wait until it gets to a favorable position. Now, last time when I was going, I set it a little bit wrongly, so this time I'm giving myself more headroom for actually going with an SSTO. So, throttle to max, release the brakes. Everything looks nominal. Let's give it a nice view. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh. Oh dear. Looks like there's not much left of the SSTO. Let's Luding and Elbart have I'm sad to report that Luding and Kerm Elbart have been killed in the launch of our SSTO. Making effectively second and third casualty. Well, that's the price of science, I guess. So, Elbart, he has done a total of 1 mission and he has successfully landed on another planet, so we will actually award him posthumously with Intersidera, which is Among the Stars, a commemorative ribbon for fallen Kerbals. Then we have Elbart. Elbart was, or Luding, sorry. Luding was one of our more experienced pilots, and I'm actually very sorry to see him go. It's a big loss for our Kerbal Space program. However, that being said, I think it was error due to my piloting. I shouldn't have been watching left or right, so I think the SSTO is still pretty viable. So let's see if we will give it another go. Let's build another one and see that it works. I mean, this is the only changes in a little bit of kibble and a little bit of longer stage. So I still think it's pretty viable. However, this time I'm thinking that I might be actually taking somebody a little less experienced. Not that I think that new hired Kerbals are expendable or anything, but then again, well, that's exactly what I'm thinking. I don't want to risk another experienced Kerbal, so I'm gonna take Malford as a pilot, or hands-on. Actually, he has just the right level of stupidity to actually embark on this mission. And I'm waiting for the Dawn to launch. And let us roll out the SSTO. Once again, let's give it a try. No, Jeb, don't get to go. But I do favor your enthusiasm. So we have here Hanson and I think it's Shenton as a scientist. So once again, take 2. Let's try and launch this one. Losing Luding and Elbart was a big strike for our Kerbal Space program, but look at it from the bright side. I think I've gotten the ladder to work correctly on this SSTO. So, once again, getting the station into hopefully favorable position, hitting the engines, and this time I'm not gonna play with the view much. So 110 meters per second, we should slowly start raising our nose, and we're airborne. By the way, this is all at times acceleration, because yeah, you've seen me launch SSTOs before. Obviously the last one wasn't as successful as I was hoping it to be, but yeah. Let's see if Hanson and Shenton will receive some valuable experience, become the heroes, or die trying. Yeah, they seem very encouraged by my comment. Shenton is freaking out completely. Okay, picking up a little bit of speed, but also correcting a little bit yaw. I want to make sure that I'm going at 90 degrees, and I want to make sure that I'm accelerating, so hopefully at the point where I become orbital, just to rendezvous with the station directly, because this is a little bit heavier SSTO than the smaller one, So I would imagine it has slightly less delta V when it comes to actual for orbital operations. That's why I'm trying actually to run as much as I can on the actual turbojet engines, but then again we're climbing up but not nearly accelerating as much as I would like to. So I'm worried at a certain point when I come to thin air the speed won't be able to sustain us. So I'm starting to think at some point I might just kick in the aerospikes and risk a little bit of delta V that we have to actually get somewhere for a change. At this point I'm still hoping to do something actually useful and level off in hopes of getting to a decent speed, but then again, as you can see, our speed is climbing ever so painfully slow, so yeah. At a certain point I just lose my patience, kick in the aerospikes and hope for the best, clearly. So the point is that I want to raise my apoapsis at least to 15 to get to some decent speed, like 500 meters per second, and that's still 200 more than we had last time, so I'm hoping that now at 15,000 the turbojets will become they are efficient enough at higher altitudes, so we will be able to accelerate on our own, which seems to be the case definitely. And our intake air usage is only 16%, so we have more than enough space to climb and hopefully do something of use. Okay, we are picking up speed. Going 840, 850. I'm hoping for somewhere around 1000 meters per second, but we are still pretty low in the atmosphere, so I'm kind of hoping to gain at least come up to some 28, hopefully. But then again, our engines are slightly overheating, and I would be very happy to get by at least 1100 meters per second, but we came to 27 and I just decided to kick in the aerospikes. Everything looks good so far. We are definitely burning for the apoapsis. Meters per second still look fairly decent. And at our angle I'm hoping to aim somewhere mid-range between circularization and actually burning for the apoapsis, so trying to go for that sweet spot. And it seems that we will be going rendezvousing with the station, which is great. 56, 57. Notice that our actual flight is at a slight angle compared to the station, so I'm trying to fix it as we go. And our target speeds are almost matching, so at a certain point I'm just trying to... Okay, we arrived at 100 and we are actually close. So I'm actually thinking I might just as well... When we come very close, I'll just probably burn directly for the space station. I think that would be the best case, yes. I mean, our delta V is not exactly stellar. We have 340, but then target is going as 392, and as we close by, it will probably be less. So, yes, this is actually gonna be very tight. .382. And at this point I actually think that I might have engaged too early 246. I mean, if it push comes to shove, I still have a little bit of monopro, but still, again, this meters per second is painfully much. So let's see if I can actually. And we're actually out of fuel with 218 meters per second to spare, and I thought we ran out of oxidizer, but we actually ran out of liquid fuel. So that means we cannot go anywhere, basically. I mean, theoretically we might try it with an RCS, but we're still pretty far from the encounter, so I just decided to abandon the mission and get our Kerbals safe back home. Sorry Hanson and sorry Shanton, we will just have to go another time. Let us find now some suitable landing space for you guys, because you cannot really even pick a landing site. There's basically 0 delta V in our tank, so that means it's gonna be pretty hairy. Okay, we're at least over land, so that's good. I don't like flying in the dark, but then again, what can you do? We've been given that. And I'm now open all intakes. I'm gonna increase the contrast slider or lighting slider a little bit so you guys can actually see. Otherwise it would be just too dark. So we are re-entering, and all the intakes are open and all the air brakes are open, because this time I want to slow as quickly as I can to make sure that we actually can land on this grasslands to our right. And then I remember that Scott Manley was pulling some high G maneuvers, and that I figured, well, why the hell not? We need to turn anyway towards that direction, so might as well be pulling some higher Gs in order to slow us down sufficiently. So now we're going around Mach 3, and we are actually already biting pretty solidly into the atmosphere. So I'm just now trying also to pick a good landing spot, trying to very quickly go subsonic and drop in our altitude to make sure that I can find at least some nice decent flat spot, because if you can see, we will be running out of continent soon. And I don't know how much longer we can actually glide. I mean, glide, turn, whatever. Speed and altitude is our asset for sure, but then again, I don't like to overplay my cards too much. We already lost 2 Kerbals just now. These 2 I really don't want to lose. Increasing the slider a little bit more. And by the way, guys, you might be wondering why I call this episode The Black Cat. I'm gonna come back to that. Not just yet, though. So, landing gear down. 170. This looks like a flat enough surface, so Shanton, hands-on, now that I'm thinking, I'm really sad that I actually didn't get parachutes, like drogue chutes. What can you do? You live, you learn. And touchdown, so applying brakes carefully, yet still aggressively, to make sure that we don't end up like lots of SSTO, and we're stopped. Great, so let's open our ladders and let's take Shanton out. See? At least the ladders work. Yay! Getting some data, and let's get him back. And yeah, let's get him back. Let's try this again, shall we? And come on. Oh, come on, you got to be freaking kidding me. Climb the stairs, please. let's just recover him. Get some science shunt on. At least he flew something. Yeah, we got some cool ribbons. Wonderful. And I guess we will have to recover the SSTO from the actual tracking station. So let us recover the vessel. At least it survived the flight. I guess given our track record today, we have to be happy with that at least. Okay. Moving on, I would clearly need to deploy some rocket lifter or a bigger, more capable SSTO when it comes to delivering the creature comforts and some kibble. Okay, now we have dress window in 60 days, and I'm gonna just rename this dress for Duna, because I want to add Duna transfer, which is coming shortly, because I want to double check, and I want to add Kerbal alarm, clock alarm. So we have 78 days, and we have another in 245 days. Okay, cool. Now, let's see, VAB, and let us launch our mini Duna probe. That's very much similar like the Near Future Technologies one, which is exactly like the Dres one, but this time this one will go to Duna. I like the design, looks pretty solid, so yeah. Okay, and regular launch. Oops, except for that explosion, yes. Nothing really special when it comes to it, just burning for the orbit or for the apoapsis. Turning ever so slowly. Come on, and yeah, periapsis in the 70s, 80s range, hoping for 100. Great. Let us just now point our nose to the prograde marker and also make a maneuver node to circularize the orbit. Standard launch, nothing really special to see here. And we have more than enough delta V to actually pull it off. In this stage I have 2400, so let us just now ditch the fairings, extend the communitron, and let us burn for the orbit. And extend some solar panel, because obviously we need some power generation. Great! And we're burning for the circularization. Awesome. What? Engine failure. Dang it. Okay, let's act quickly here. Extend everything and let's see if we can circularize on the ion drives, but I'm not that optimistic, to be honest. And we're dropping our electric charge because obviously we're not at the sun, so we're discharging our capacitors. Okay, think fast. Let's discharge one more. Can we actually pull something off? Discharge. Now, the reason why I'm calling this the Black Cat, because our luck for this episode is as if the Black Cat has crossed our path. Not that I'm superstitious or anything, but seriously, 3 misses in a row, what the hell. Screw it, let's just arm the parachute, and yeah, obviously we will need to, at least we will test the return back to Kerbin with this probe. I guess that's also a valid test, so let's fold everything back. Point retrograde. And deactivate the communitron, which means we will no longer have control over the probe, at least when we get out of range of the 500 meter communitron. So, yeah, and we lost the control. So now we have Sir Isaac Newton flying the ship. Let's see if our parachute will deploy and our probe will hopefully land safely. Yeah, we have 2 chutes. I think these guys are drogue chutes, maybe, or I'm not sure. Well, at least we get a point to test the re-entry on this probe, so let's see how that handles. A little bit of time acceleration. And okay, guys, deploy anytime you're ready. Thank you. And we're going at 11 meters per second, which is a little bit Yeah. Okay, I think science equipment did survive, but it's not in the best shape. Let's just call it at that. Beautiful. So, of our total of 3 launches, 2 of them were total disaster, and for one we at least managed to save this. But now that I come think of it, I'm actually thinking that we have a problem. If we are burning on the dark side, as we will be burning for Dres, we will need to be relying on our actual capacitors, and we do not have nearly enough capacity to burn. So now I'm even thinking that the Dres probe that is up, it might be better that we just repurpose it for Eve, because when burning for Eve, we are burning on the sunny side. So now I'm making another near future probe that's supposed to go to Duna, and I don't think I would be launching that one at the moment. I'm thinking I'll just let it stick there for a while. And you know what, guys? I think I'm gonna call it the episode here, because guys, really, I mean, we're coming to the end of the episode. Well, it had more explosions than I originally planned, but we at least have unlocked some science, so let us actually go and unlock something that we would actually need, and that's these adapters, which I've been talking about. So let us unlock this. So once again, thank you very much for watching. Like if you like the episode, and for more KSP content, please hit that subscribe button. Until then, thank you very much. This is GrunfWorks signing off.